Hi everyone, welcome back to our YouTube channel Zero Analyst. This is the day 27 of our 30 days Python series. I know a lot of you have been waiting for this video for a long time. So this is going to be a completely different video. In this video, we are going to build a real-time project which is going to download the real-time cryptocurrency data, the price and other different informations using a free API from a website called CoinGecko. And from this website, we're going to download 250 plus cryptocurrency price and other informations like price change in the last 24 hours, all-time high, all-time low, and so many other informations from this website using free API. Then we're going to use pandas data frame to identify the top 10 cryptocurrency to invest based on the price change in the last 24 hours and maybe some other parameters. And then we are going to save the entire dataset in the local drive. And also we're going to print those top 10 cryptocurrency. And in the next video, we will be learning how to set automations with this project so that automatically this dataset get downloaded at 8 a.m. every day. And also it send you an email with the top 10 cryptocurrency to invest along with this entire dataset. So this is what I'm going to cover in the next video. But in this video, we're going to cover a lot of things. So let's go ahead and see the website from where we'll be downloading this cryptocurrency data. So this is the website which is called CoinGecko. From this website, we're going to download this cryptocurrency. You can see this is the website. It's a live and you can see the live price of each of this cryptocurrency. So for Bitcoin, it's now $87.570. You can see for Ethereum, which is the second highest, and you can see Tether, different cryptocurrency and their pricings. So you can see some parameters are here. For first we have this which is called ID, then we have which is called coins and name basically. Then we have price, then we have 1 hour this ratio. Then we have 24 hour and the ratio, and you have this 7 day and this ratio. So in 7 days, see it's up, and you have 24 hours volume. So what amount this cryptocurrency has been traded, and you can see market capitalizations and last 7 days this spike that you see, right? So many informations are here. We're going to only download the necessary things that we need to analyze this data. So these are some more cryptocurrency you can see, and the data set that we're going to download, it is going to look something like this. So you can see here we have the ID, we have name, currency, market capitalizations, and we have all-time high, all-time low, price change in last 24 hours and the timestamp. So let's start the video. And even if you do not have any Python skills, that is still fine. If you just have the basic skills like how to write hello world, still you'll be able to do this project. I'm going to explain you each and everything step by steps, from creating environment and to kind of installing all the dependencies and each and everything. So let's first go ahead and open VS Code. You can open your VS Code that you have already downloaded, and I hope you have already Python downloaded. If not, just go through the day one of this series. So here I have opened my VS Code, and I'm just going to select my folder where I want to do this project. So let's go ahead and go to file, and I would say open folders, and I'm just going to select one of my existing folders. You can select any folders wherever you want to do this project. So I would just go into week 4 day 27, and I'm going to select these folders. Okay. So in these folders, I already have something called api.txt, which I'm going to basically give it to you, and you can use this informations, and very simple information. It has URL and some website parameters, which you can simply copy paste from this, and I'm going to include in the video descriptions. Now let's go ahead and create a Python file so that we can start the project. So I'm just going to say new file, and I'm going to name it called maybe app.py. Okay, you can name it anything. So this is the Python file where we are going to basically write the code to do these projects, and it's going to be a Python file, not the Jupyter file. Even you can use Jupyter file as well, but I would recommend you to use Python file. Now let's go ahead and create a virtual environment for this project where we will be installing all the dependencies, all the libraries that is required for this project. It is very important to have a virtual environment for each of the projects separately. So whatever the dependencies we need, we will be installing in that virtual environment. So first of all, I will just go ahead and go to terminal and create a new terminal here. And if you have not installed Python and VS Code, go through the video 1 of this series, and you will be learning how to install Python on Windows and Mac, how to create virtual environment, each and everything in details. So for me, I'm using Mac. If I just type pwd, I will see my present working directory, which is this day 27. For you, you will see your folders. Now here we're going to create a virtual environment. So for that, you just need to write Python -mv and you can give any name. So I'm just going to call it my env dash crypto. Okay, so I can just name anything, my env maybe 1. Okay, this is what I just want to name it. And as soon as I hit enter, you see that it has created a folders, and I'm getting a warning. It says notice that you have created new virtual environment. Do you want to select it for your workspace folders? Yes, just select this. If you don't get this pop-up, it's okay. So just click on yes. And once you click on yes, it is going to kind of select this virtual environment, and you'll be able to install all the dependencies. Still you can see I see my name here, if I just kill this virtual environment, if I just kill this environment, if I just kill this terminal and I launch a new terminal, you will see it has automatically activated. Okay, if it doesn't activate it, you can just write simple code which I'm going to show you to activate it. So let's first deactivate it. Deactivate. Okay, so it is deactivated for now. If it is not activated while you are launching a new file, then what you just need to do is that go to terminal. Okay, and here just go to new terminal, and in this my env you will be getting something called bin, and from bin you will be getting something called activate. Okay, this one. So just click on the copy this path. Okay, copy related path, whatever you want, and just here into type bin, here into type source this, and just press hit. Okay, once you hit enter, you can see it is already activated. So for me it is activated twice. Okay, so for you, if it doesn't activate, you can just go ahead and, as I said, that simply type the source and put this file path, which is this file activate. Okay, this file path, and this is how it is going to be activated. So for me, it is activated twice. I'm just going to write deactivate to deactivate it twice. Okay, now it is activated for me, and I would just kill the terminal and launch a new terminal to start. Okay, so this is fine. All the dependencies and everything is going to install this library folders that you see here, which is called lib. Okay, now let's first talk about the libraries that we will need for this project. So make sure that this file that you have, which is not inside this folder, but it is outside the folder, which is called app.py, or you can name it anything that you want. Okay, so first of all, we will need a library called a request. Okay, and then we will need a pandas, and also we will need time date. Okay, date time, which you call date time. These three libraries we will need to work in this project. So one is request, one is pandas, and one is date time. We may need some more libraries, but for now these three libraries is going to basically get the job done, where we will be getting the cryptocurrency data from the website. Okay, so these are the libraries we will need, and here we will need to install this request because it is a additional libraries, and also we need to install pandas. So let's first go ahead and go to terminal, and here if I just type pip list, I will be able to see all the libraries that is currently installed in my system. You can see in my virtual environment only pip is installed. Okay, so let's go ahead and install pandas. So I would just go ahead and say pip install pandas. So it's going to install pandas in just some time. So it is installing right now. You can see it here, and it's going to kind of do the installation within just few seconds. Okay, all right, so you can see it has installed. Now I'm just going to install request. So I would type pip install request. Okay, so there's a s at the end, and I would just run it, and it has installed the request as well. So I'm just going to clear the terminal here, and let's just verify it. Okay, so I would just say pip list to see all the libraries. So here if you see pandas install, numpy install, everything is installed automatically. If you install pandas, it install numpy as well, and we have a request library install, which is here, you can see. Okay, now this is what only we needed. I am just going to kill the terminal and close this. This datetime is a Python inbuilt library, so you don't have to install it using pip. You can simply import it. Okay, so let's go ahead and first import the library. So I'm just going to call this maybe something called this function get real-time cryptocurrency price every day at 8 a.m. Okay, second, it is going to basically send the top 10 cryptocurrency of the day in an email, which we will be covering in the next video. Okay, second, it identify top 10 crypto and send mails. Okay, send mails with all those informations, and this also stores or maybe save the data as a CSV. Okay, CSV. So this is our project one task, so which is our day one task is going to be this two, and this task we're going to do in the next video. Okay, so in the next day. So this is fine. Now let's go ahead and first start importing the dependencies. So I'm just going to kind of cancel it, and let's put this as a comment on the top. Okay, let's go ahead and first import a request. So using request, we are going to send the request to that website, which is called CoinGecko, this website, and that's where we will be getting this all the cryptocurrency and the data. Then we're going to capture the data, and we're going to save this data. Okay, so I'm going to say import a request. So using request, we're going to send the request, as I said. Now I'm going to import pandas as PD, so that we can work with the pandas and data frame, like creating data frame, or saving the data, or kind of doing a lot of things like identifying the top 10 or bottom 10. Okay, so pandas, and from date time we will import kind of date time. Okay, now using date time we can create some timestamp, like which day the data is captured. Basically based on that we are going to create a file, so the next day we know that okay, this file was created on this day. Okay, so we'll be also creating a column where we will be kind of mentioning the day when we got that data, so basically the price and everything. Okay, so you'll see how to use this in the later stage, and this is fine. So these are the only main library we will need. Now let's go ahead and get the API informations. So for API informations we would just need URL, so that is going to be here, which I have already saved here. So you can get this URL. It's a free API, so you don't need login or any credentials. Okay, next we would need some parameters. So I'm just going to create a variable called param, and here I'm just going to put the parameter as a date. Okay, so first parameters which I need, which is called vs and currency. Vs currency, so I would just need to put in a kind of string because I'm creating a dict. So here I would just define the currency as maybe USD. Okay, then I would need the second parameter, which is called order. So I would need the data order by the market capitalizations order in descending. Okay, so I have already created it, you can just get it from here. So we would just need market cap descending. Okay, so this is what we need, and next what you need is that, which is called per page 250. You have a limit of per page 250 and this page 1, so we would need just these two informations. Okay, because in one page you can get up to 300, but this website may block your request, so only request up to 250. So in one page we can only get 250 cryptocurrency, which is kind of fine because we are ordering the data by the market capitalizations. So that means we will be getting the top 250 biggest cryptocurrency in every day. And page 1, if in case you want to go to page 2, then you can change it to page 2, and from the page 2 you will be also getting 250. Okay, so for now we will just set this standard. Okay, so this is going to work fine completely. Okay, so this is fine. Let's go ahead and do the next task. Now the task is to send a request to the website. We got the API information, so I'm just going to name it call API informations. Okay, so this is fine. Now I would just need to send a request to the website. Okay, so I would just go ahead and just add a text called sending request. Okay, so we will send the request to the website. So I'm just going to use a simple this request library to send the request. Okay, so I would say request dot get, and here we will just need to pass the URL, login URL, and the parameters. Okay, so the parameters as a params and the login URL. You can also pass headers, but which is not mandatory. So we would just go ahead and pass the URL. Okay, so URL, and then we would pass this param. Okay, so param you need to pass under this parameters, which is called params. So param, so basically here we are passing this URL, which URL this request need to send, and then we are passing some parameters. What are the things we need? So here we are saying currency is USD, so we need the data in USD currency. You have different option as well, and we are saying that first order the data by market capitalizations in descending, so that highest market capitalizations cryptocurrency only select, and we're saying per page 250. That means we are only capturing 250 cryptocurrency informations. And page 1, that means we're only saying page 1. If you need multiple page, then you can basically change this in the later stage. Okay, this is fine. Now once we get this, we are going to store this informations in the response. Okay, so this is a very simple approach of sending a request. Okay, so we are using this, we are sending a request and we are storing that response. Now we will check if this response is correct. Okay, so there is the options where you can verify the response is correct, whether this website is not blocking your kind of IP address. Okay, something like it. So what you can do is that we can go ahead and say if response dot status code. Okay, so there is a function which is called a status code, which is going to return you the status code. So if this status code is 200, okay, if this status code is 200, that means this response is working fine. That means you are not being blocked by the website. Okay, so we can just print this response code just to show you, and I'm just going to say print this response code. Okay, print this response code, else just give an error. Okay, so I would just go ahead and say else. So I would just go ahead and say print, and I can just write something called f string connection failed error code. Here I can just put this code, okay, because this is telling the response code, okay. So whenever the response fail, the code is going to be somewhere around 400 or 500, okay, not 200, okay. So let's first see that if kind of we are getting the correct response or not, okay. Now we can just run it in terminal to see if in case the response is working. If response is working, we are going to get a code which is called 200. Let's kind of wait, and it's going to return it here. So you can see the code is 200. That means we are able to connect to the website, okay. So this is perfect. If you are kind of getting 200, then congratulations, one step of the project is done. Right now what you need to do is that we will capture the data. So here what we do, instead of printing this response code, I can just print a nice message called connected to the website, connection successful, something like it, okay. Connection successful, okay. Or you can say just getting the data, connection successful, and you can say getting the data, nice message, okay, something like it. So it's going to kind of give you informations like connection successfully, getting the data, okay. I want in the new line, so I'm just going to call backslash new line. In the new line I'm going to get this message called getting the data, okay. So nice way of kind of telling that we are getting the data. Now this is fine, we have successfully connected to the website. Now we would need to get the informations which is called different cryptocurrency and their price, right? So I would go ahead and create a variable called data. In this data variable I am going to store those response, okay, because when you send a request to the website, it return the data as per the parameters that you have defined, that you need to store in a variable which is I'm calling it data. I would just go ahead and say response dot json, so you can store the file in a json file. Earlier I was just checking the code. So if this code is successful, that means if the code is 200, that means we successfully connected to the website, then I'm storing that information into a json file and I'm storing that in a variable called data, okay. Very simple, we got the informations. Next what I want to do is that I would simply go ahead and create a pandas data frame where I'm going to transfer this JSON file to pandas data frame so that we can analyze it very simple way, okay. So as I have already installed pandas as PD, so I can simply go ahead and use that logic. So I would go ahead and say that here I'm just going to write it call storing the data, okay, storing the data, or you can say storing the response into data, okay. Response means all the cryptocurrency and their information that we have requested, okay. So this is fine. Now I'm going to create a simple pandas data frame, so I'm going to name it called df, and I would say pd dot data frame, and I can simply pass the json file here because json file are in dict format and you can use dict format to create a data frame, okay. So I would just pass data here. So this is fine. So this is going to kind of create a data frame. So here I'm saying that creating df data frame, and it's going to create the data frame and it is going to store in this variable, okay. So almost things are done. Now let's see the columns that we are getting from this website, okay. What are the different columns we are getting? Then we can kind of select few columns that is important for us, because we don't want to capture everything. If you want to capture everything you can keep it, but I don't want to capture everything. So what I will do is that I will first print the columns to see what are the columns we are having. So we can just go ahead and say df dot columns, and this function is going to return the all the columns, okay. If you also want to see kind of the all the data headers for this columns, then you can simply write print one more line which is called print, and you can go ahead and say print df dot, okay, head. So it's going to print the 5 rows the data so that you can see, and all the columns name as well, okay. So let's go ahead and kind of run this code again, and if in case connection fail, you are going to get this error code, okay. Just make sure you don't send multiple requests in every minute. In 1 minute you can only send one request, otherwise your IP address is going to be blocked. So I would say run in terminal, and we will see the data first 5 row as well all the columns name. So here if you see all the columns names are this, so these are the all the columns name, and here are the data. So you can see all the data. It's too many columns, so you cannot see each and everything basically what is going on, but this is how things are. You can see it here. In id we are getting different currency and their names. You can see bitcoin, ethereum, and this all this, and we are getting some symbols and some other information last updated. So there are so many columns, so you are not getting everything here. Now what you can do is that we can select few columns that we need only from this data sets. So that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to just select the few columns that only I need to capture, okay, to do my analysis, okay. So let's go ahead and here let's kind of define the data frame. Let's go ahead and filter out the data frame. Okay, so I would say df, and here I'm just going to say df equals df of this. Okay, double brackets, double square brackets, and here I can put all the columns that I need. Okay, so the columns I need, which is going to be one, I want to capture this id, so I would just go ahead and say this id, or you can just name it, call name, whatever it works fine. So I would select id, and you can give a comma to select all the columns as a string. I don't want a name, and current price I want. Okay, so current price I'm going to select. Next column. Next, what I want to select is the market cap. Okay, market capitalizations, this is what I want to select. And then I want to select maybe 24 high, no, 24-hour low. I want to select this, which is called price change in 24 hours. So this is in percentage. I want to select this, which is price change percentage in 24 hours. So how much change happened in the last 24 hours? If it is a positive, if it is a negative, that is great. Okay, so I would need this percentage, and other than that I would need market cap change. I don't want market cap change in percentage, I don't want, and some more information, total supply, max supply. Again, if you want, you can capture so many other things. I want this, which is called all-time high, so I would just go ahead and write it all-time high, and I would need all-time low, which is called all-time low. Okay, which is this. So you also have the options all-time high date, all-time low date, so you can select whatever you want to select. Okay, ROI also you have it here. I would need one more column, which is called timestamp, which is I'm going to kind of create by myself. Okay, so I'm just filtering out from this df, from all the columns I'm just filtering out this only specific columns. Okay, I don't want to see all the columns here. So this is fine. Now I will just create one more column. Okay, that's called timestamp. So creating new column. So for creating new column, I'm going to use the current date from the system. So first, let's create a variable called today, and this today I'm going to kind of get the today date from the system using the date time functions which I have imported earlier. Okay, so I can simply go ahead and say that here, call datetime dot now. Okay, and dot str format, and what I'm looking for from this date time is that in this format you can give the information that you are looking for. So I'm just looking for this, which is called date, month, and y, which is date, month, and year. So even you can include the second time as well, but I think only this works fine, which is date, month, and y. So it's creating a variable. In this variable I would have the string data like today, month, and the y. Okay, so which is going to be date, month, and year. Okay, so this is fine. Now what I will do is that I will create a column called time, or I will be creating a column called date or timestamp, whatever you want. Okay, so I would just go ahead and say that df of which is called timestamp. Okay, timestamp. So that means I'm assigning in the df, I'm assigning a new column which is called timestamp, and here I just need to assign the series of data, like what you want to store in this column that you are creating in the df. Okay, it is not going to append all the remaining column would remain same. I'm just creating a new column which is called df of timestamp. So here this function is going to return kind of the today date from the system. So if you want to check it, I can just go ahead and create a Jupyter notebook outside to just show you. So I would just go ahead and say test dot ipynb, and here let's go ahead and kind of select the kernel first. That's going to be Python environment, and I'm just going to select this one, and here let's run this. Okay, first I need to import from date time, import date time. Okay, so I would just print it and need to install this IP kernel for Jupyter notebook to work, and here you will see the today date. Once this installation is done, it's just going to take few seconds, and so that we can see the response. Okay, so let's wait, and we will be getting the response here. Okay, it is still going through. Yeah, you can see. So this is how I will be getting the response, which is called this day, year, sorry, day, month, and the year. Okay, so what I need here is that I need the same thing, but I don't need in this format, otherwise it's going to create an issue while creating a file. It's going to create an issue, so I'm going to put it as a day dash month dash y. So this is how I will be getting the data in the today, and using this today I'm creating a kind of column which is a df.time, and here I can simply assign today. Okay, so this in this time we are just assigning today. So for each row we will be kind of assigning today. That means today means it's a date, right? So this is fine. Now once this is done, we want to kind of save the data, right? So what I will do is that I'm going to call it saving the data. Okay, so to save the data you can simply go ahead and say df dot to save CSV, right? df dot to CSV. That means as a CSV we can save the data, and here you can give a name called crypto data. Okay, crypto data, and we can give a date. So for date I can just use this today functions. I would just need to use a f string here, and I just need to pass today here. Okay, so while saving the data, it's going to kind of say that crypto data, and it's also going to kind of name the file as a today date. Okay, so I would just need to call it .csv. Okay, so this is fine. I don't want to save index, so I would say index equals false. Okay, so simple logic what I have used, so that the file name would be crypto data and the today date. Okay, so tomorrow when we will be downloading it again, so the date is going to be different, so that it's not going to kind of create a mess with the previous day downloaded, right? It's not going to append that file. So this is the reason I have given this today, and that is the only reason using this timestamp we have got this today date as a string. Okay, and that's what we have used it here. So this is fine. If I now execute it, you will see I don't have any at the moment any CSV file here, but I will be getting the CSV file. Even you can declare your path where you want to save this file. I want to save it in the local directory. You can save it wherever you want. You can give the path, and then you can give the name. Okay, so this is fine. Once this is saved, then I am going to kind of print a message called, okay, something like this: data saved. Okay, and data saved successful. Okay, whatever you want to print it, you can just print a nice message that data saved successful. If in case the connection failed, then you are going to get this error, which is here. You have seen that earlier. Okay, so this is fine. I think everything we have done right way. So let's go ahead and execute the code, so that it is going to create a file. Okay, and it's going to download the data. So I would just go ahead and cancel everything else for now. So yeah, let's save it and let's cancel it, and let's go to terminal. Okay, let's first clear everything. We can use it terminal to run it, or you can just right click from here and you can run it from here. Okay, so let's go ahead and run in terminal. Okay, so it's say getting the data dot dot dot, and say data saved successfully. That means we have got the cryptocurrency data. So let's go ahead and kind of verify it. So right click here and rebuild in the finders, and you can see this has already got the data. So we can just open in Excel to kind of explore if in case we have got whatever we needed. So let's open it in Excel file. You can see nicely clean formatted data it has downloaded. Let's go ahead and verify it. Okay, so if you see it here, it has downloaded the ID here. You can see the ID means the different cryptocurrency and their name. We have current price, which is, you can see it here, 87,412. Market capitalizations, you can see it here, and you can see the price change in last 24 hours. Now this column is very important. Okay, I'm just going to highlight it and I will tell you why. You can see all-time high it is $89,000, and all-time low it is 67 kind of dollars, and this is the timestamp when this data is downloaded. If you want to include the seconds, you can include it, but I have not included here. Again, if you want, you can just include it in the code. Okay, so we got the data. Now here, if you just explore this data, well, we can bring one insight. Okay, if I just order the data by this columns, I can just go ahead and say descending, and here are the top 10 currencies where the data has highest price change in the positive numbers. Okay, so these are the highest price change in the positive numbers. That means this currencies price are increasing. Okay, you can see their price change 226% increase in the last 24 hours. Now the good thing is that every day if you get inside something like it, like the 10 currency where the price has changed the highest in the last 24 hours, that means you can kind of invest in this cryptocurrency, right, for the maybe short term, like if you want to do intraday investing or something like it. Okay, because here the prices increase, so that you will buy this stock. Okay, now this is fine. If you want to order it in ascending, you would see the top 10 currency where the price has decreased in the highest, which is the price ratio, right? So here we would select the top 10, and here if you see the price has decreased, which is highest, right? So again, these are the cryptocurrency you may want to kind of consider selling it. Okay, so you can see their current pricing, and you can see the decrease per ratio, which is kind of 14%, 13%. This is the highest. So every day if you get this type of insight, so that you will be able to kind of invest it. Okay, in the next video I'm going to show you how you can automate this task. So every day at 8 a.m. this data gets downloaded, and it send an email to your mail or maybe your manager mail with top 10 this the highest increase, and top 10 this kind of this negative kind of top 10 cryptocurrency to your email and to your manager email. Along with this, also download the dataset and keep a copy of the CSV file include that in the email. Okay, so all this thing I'm going to show you, and it is going to do automatically all these things. You don't have to run this code, and you don't have to do anything. You just need to keep this laptop or computer on so that it's going to do the task. Okay, this is fine. Now what I want to include it here for this today video is that we want to kind of select this top 10, and we want to select this bottom 10, which earlier I have shown you. Okay, so this is the top 10, which is negative top 10, and we will be selecting the positive top 10s with the highest price change, highest price percentage change, and then lowest price percentage change we are going to select. Okay, so let's go ahead and see how we can select it. Okay, so here what I'm going to name it, call, maybe I will just what I'm going to name it is here. Let's kind of go ahead and select it this way. And let's say, let's do some changes here. Okay, let's say I also want to capture the time as well here, so I can go ahead and select the time like this. Okay, so it's going to be, first I want to select the seconds. Okay, so I would just go ahead and say seconds, and what I want is kind of the minute, so percentage minute, and I would select the hour. Okay, so this is going to give us the time stamp as well. Okay, now this time, so here we have everything is the same. Now what I just want to do is that before saving the data, I would want to kind of maybe get the top 10 and the bottom 10. Okay, so for that I can go ahead and say that top negative 10, negative 10. So what you want to call it maybe here is that top 10 price change percentage. Okay, based on the price change percentage, we want to select the top 10 where this the change percentage is the highest in the negative and the lowest in the positive. So we would just go ahead and say top negative 10. Okay, and what I can do is that I can just go ahead and say df dot, and I would just go ahead and say sort by. So we can just do some sorting by values here. Okay, you can use simple pandas data frame to sort the data because it is now in the pandas data frame. So you can say sort by values, and here you just need to pass that column name by which column you want to sort the data. So we want to sort the data by this column name, which is called this, and I'm just going to select this column name here. Okay, so I'm saying top negative 10. So that means I would want to sort it in the ascending orders. This is the smallest numbers. Okay, so here you would just need to pass by this price, and you need to pass ascending equals, which is called true, because we want to sort the data by ascending equals true. So that means we are sorting the data in ascending wise. Okay, so this is fine. Now this is going to create a data frame where the data is sorted. Okay, from that data frame what I want to include is the top 10. Okay, so what I will do is that I would just go ahead and create one more variable here called top 10 negative. Here I can just call top negative, and here I would just go ahead and say top 10 negative, and I would just use this data frame, and here, and I would just go ahead and say dot head and 5 or 10. We need 10, so I'm going to use a 10 here. So this is going to get the top 10. Okay, let me just put this maybe here. Here I can add a comment call getting top 10. Okay, so this is the negative top 10 where the price change happened highest. Okay, and we will be getting the positive top 10. So positive top 10 means where the price has increased the highest. Okay, in last 24 hours. Okay, so for that we would again use the same thing here, but I would just go ahead and do some changes here. So let's go ahead and do it here. So I'm just going to call it positive 10. Okay, positive 10. So top negative, and I'm just going to name it call positive. Okay, and what I want here is this time is that ascending equals false. Okay, it's going to order the data in descending. Okay, so I'm saying top negative, and I'm just going to call top positive 10. Okay, and I'm selecting top positive 10 of, I'm selecting top positive, oops, I would just need to select this, which is called top positive dot head 10. Okay, so I'm getting the 10 here and 10 here. Okay, so I want to print it, or I can export it as well, but I think we can print it so that make more sense, and we can export it as well. If you want to export it, you can just go ahead and just write a top 10, and you can just export this and this. So let's do both ways. Let's say we want to export as a CSV file, and we want to print it as well. Okay, so to export it, we can just go ahead and write this here. I would just go ahead and say to CSV, and we can just go ahead and say give a name call maybe top 10. Okay, and let's give a name call today. So let's give a kind of timestamp which is called today, and let's put a formatting. So top 10 of, we can say top 10 of today. Okay, so this is fine, and we just need to say csb, and we want to call it index. Oops, that's going to be outside. I would just go and say index equals false. Okay, so it's saying top 10 csb. I just need to give a comma here. So I'm just exporting the data, and I would also export it here as well. Okay, so here I'm just going to put on this variable name positive 10 and negative 10. Okay, this is fine. Now we can also print it as well in the results. So if you want to print it after this data save successfully, we can just print it as well. Okay, so or before we can print it, so here I can go ahead and say that print, and I can go ahead and say that top 10 crypto of today, which is called today. As a f formatting, I just need to pass f outside, so that's how I get the today date. Okay, and in the next line I want to print that. Okay, so I would just go ahead and say \n, and here I would just print that data. What is the data? Top 10, which is going to be top positive, top negative 10, or we can just include the top positive 10 first. Okay, let's say top negative 10, where the price has decreased the highest. Okay, top 10 cryptocurrency uh, with highest price decrease ratio. Okay, decrease percentage. So top 10 cryptocurrency with highest price decrease percentage, and I'm going to print this. And next what I need is this. Okay, so top 10 here, this top 10 I just need to pass inside this which is called variables, and I'm just not ending it here, but I am ending the string here. Okay, so this is fine. This is going to print this top 10 with the highest price decrease, and we can just print highest price increase as well. So for that we will just use the same thing. Oops, for that we're just going to use the same thing, but in the next line. So we're just going to copy and paste it here. So here top 10 cryptocurrency with highest price increase, and we would need to mention highest price increase percentage, and we would just mention this, which is called this top positive 10. Okay, so earlier we have mentioned top negative 10. Here I'm just going to mention top positive 10. Okay, so this is fine. Let's go ahead and execute it. Now it is going to save the data. It is also going to print the top 10 and the bottom 10 based on the highest price increase and highest price decrease. Okay, so this is fine. Let's go ahead and save this file, and let's go ahead and execute it. Before it, I can just delete the earlier one, or I can just keep it. Let's go ahead and run it. Okay, so run in terminal, I would just go and say run in terminal. Okay, so let's wait. So it is kind of waiting. Let's wait some time, and we will see the message here if it is kind of successful. If there is any issues with the code, then we will check. Okay, we got some error. I think that's with the timestamp, so let's go ahead and check it. It says that we are getting some error in the today. Okay, so here we are having some issues, so let's quickly go ahead and verify it, the error that is causing this issue. So we are here using the timestamp. Let's kind of check first. So here first of all I need to put this in capital as minute and hour. So second, minute and hour, and here I missed this percentage sign which was causing the issues. And second, I guess timestamp is looks fine today. And here I have seems like one more issues when I'm saving the data. So I'm saying today dot csv. Okay, so this csv should be outside, right? So I'm saying top negative of today, and then I can say that dot csv outside. Okay, so this was causing the issues, and here also I need to use this csv outside. Okay, so this is fine, and rest I think everything looks great and no problem at the moment. So we have everything in place, and here as well also I think everything is fine. Let's check this one as well, also today.csv. Yeah, that's kind of fine. So let's go ahead and run it again in terminal. So I'm just going to run it again in terminal. Let's save it and run in terminal again. This time it's going to work for sure. So you can see now it has returned the result in just few seconds, and it says that, let's see the message that it says from here it is started getting the data. Okay, connection successful. You can see it here, connection successful, getting the data. These are the top 10 cryptocurrency. Okay, with the highest decrease. You can see now we only have one in the 14%, and remaining all are 13, 12 and 12%. So it is changing with the real time. And here if you see, this is kind of the top 10 where the prices increase, right? So this is fine. And if you see here in the timestamp, we even have the seconds as well at the moment. Okay, so this is fine. And let's see the data that it has exported at the moment. And we have this entire data. Let's go ahead and see it here. So let's check this data in the finders. Okay, I'm just going to call reveal in the finders, and let's go ahead and see the data. Okay, so this is the data which it has downloaded with the timestamps, and this is the data which is called -10, and this is the data with the +10. Okay, so need to check. So this is the -10. I don't see the +10 chance, so maybe I did not define the name correctly, so it's the reason it did not kind of printed the +10. So here is the data which is kind of the data that we have downloaded at the moment. Let me just make it bigger. So you can see we have the cryptocurrency name here, and the current price, which is called 87,443, market cap, and you can see price change in the last 24 hours, all time high, all time low, and we have this time timestamps. Okay, so at the moment you have the date as well and the timestamp as well. Okay, let's go ahead and see the next one, which is going to be top -1. Let's see if it is -1 or +1. So it seems it has captured just the +1. This percentage shows, if you see price change in the last 24 hours, this is the highest one. Okay, so I guess we need to rectify the names for this, which is positive and negative. So I think it did not change correctly. So let's go ahead and change it again. So I will just go ahead and put it here, which is called top positive and top negative. So name is top negative here, name is top negative here. Okay, so here we need to change the name called top positive, positive, top positive 10. Okay, so this is fine, and let's go ahead and save it. Everything looks great. I am going to delete every file so that we will download it again. Okay, all right, so I've deleted everything, and let's go ahead and run this code again. So I would just go ahead and say run in terminal. This time hopefully it is going to download all the positive and the negative correctly. If you see, it has already downloaded negative and positive, and you can see the data is also downloaded, which is cryptocurrency data. Now the timestamp has changed to 55 12 16 CSV. Okay, let's go ahead and see the file in finders. So I will first go ahead and launch the finders, and then we will see all these files. Okay, in the finders. So here is the data, which is called cryptocurrency data, and now this time has changed. You can see, so here you can see all the cryptocurrency and their price, little change here with Bitcoin, and everything remains same, the percentage and everything. Let's go ahead and see the top 10 and top -10 and the +10. So let's see the -10. If you see the -10, it is showing correctly here. These are the top negative chance here. Okay, and let's go ahead and see the top positive chance. So that is here. So let's see the top positive chance. Yes, you can see the top positive chance. The highest chance happened for this, which is called peanut, the squirrel, and this is the Department of Government Efficiency, tribe 2. These are the cryptocurrency where the price has gone down the highest and gone up the highest, which is this is the percentage. Okay, so in this video you have learned how to use a request and how to use a free API to get cryptocurrency data from the website free of course, and you can use it for your project completely. And in the next video we're going to kind of do some automations in this project so that it automatically download the data set, and it kind of send an email with the top 10 and the bottom 10 as well, the data set to your managers and to maybe different emails. That's it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching the video till the end. Have a good day. See you tomorrow. Take care. Bye bye.